Now let's first have a little yogurt and then we'll start the teaching. My yogurt is on top. If you don't have any, you can just visualize it. I'll just drink it from my hands. Since paper cups aren't allowed now, we can only use our hands. If there are some today, it's fine to use them. We shouldn't waste any of this anyway. All right, you can eat while passing it around to everyone. Everyone drink up. I'll just talk while you do. This part is quite simple. Just drink and pass it along. No problem. Even without looking at the book, everyone should be able to understand this content. Continuing with a journey to the West today. While eating the yogurt, His Holiness talked about Dudjom Rinpoche and said, I aspire to be reborn in Sukhavati. I heard that some of you would like to follow Dudjom Rinpoche and aspire to take rebirth in Guru Rinpoche's glorious copper-colored mountain. As long as I am born there, I can easily and swiftly go to your pure realm at any time I wish. As Chakme Rinpoche said in his An Aspiration for Birth in the Pure Realm of Sukhavati, in Potala Alakavati, in a billion Nirmanakaya realms, may I meet a billion Avalokiteshvaras, Taras, Vajrapanis, and Padmakaras. May I present oceans of offerings to them and receive empowerment and profound instructions. May I quickly then return unimpeded to my own residence in Sukhavati. According to An Aspiration for Birth in the Pure Realm of Sukhavati, once you're born in Sukhavati, if you want to visit other pure realms such as Potala, Alakavati, Tara's realm, or Odhyana or Chamaradvipa to meet Avalokiteshvara, Tara, Vajrapani, and Padmasambhava, to visit countless such realms and make offerings, to request empowerments and profound teachings, and then in the evening or afternoon you can quickly return. So His Holiness said, if I'm reborn in Sukhavati, I can visit your Guru Rinpoche's pure realm. I can come freely at any time. I have passports for both sides. You only have a one-way passport. That's difficult. However, once you are born in the copper-colored mountain, it may not be that easy if you want to visit Sukhavati and then return to your abode. Because many scriptures don't mention that from Guru Rinpoche's realm you can go directly to Sukhavati and then return. That isn't mentioned. Khenpo Namdrol and Gyatrul Rinpoche, do you aspire to take rebirth in the glorious copper-colored mountain? Because Dudjom Rinpoche, in the past Dudjom Rinpoche encouraged everyone, and I believe Penor Rinpoche also in the early days, everyone aspired to go to the glorious copper-colored mountain. So if you go to Guru Rinpoche's realm, I can come visit you, but it might not be so convenient for you to visit me. Aren't you the ones who aspire to go to Guru Rinpoche's realm with Dudjom Rinpoche? I think all the others will follow me to be born in Sukhavati. Hearing these words, we all laughed heartily. Actually, His Holiness sometimes conveyed meaningful teachings even in his jokes, with different points of humor. Then His Holiness continued, when I was in the land of Tibet, I truly wished to have an opportunity to meet Dudjom Rinpoche in this life. One day I had a dream where a person told me the mind of His Holiness Dudjom Rinpoche is now concentrating on the pure realms. You two will not have the chance to meet in this lifetime. Later I learned that for 2 or 3 years he had rarely spoken, and his mind seemed to be outside the human world. Just as the dream indicated, I didn't have the chance to meet him. It was around 1987 that Dudjom Rinpoche passed into parinirvana. He passed away in France at that time. But in the 2 or 3 years before that, we've seen some later video recordings, he was often abiding in a certain state of realization, rarely speaking. Actually, many great masters in their later years are like this, including including His Holiness. In the last 2 or 3 years, he saw very few people. Before, you could see His Holiness every day without any problem, but later on, especially after His Holiness finished teaching the Lama Yangtig, it became quite rare to actually see the Master. He didn't speak much either, even his teachings were sometimes quite brief. So it was the same with Dudjom Rinpoche at that time. His Holiness really wanted to meet him, but said he didn't get to in this lifetime. That's what His Holiness said at the time. Then suddenly His Holiness remembered something and asked, who revealed the sadhana that Dudjom Rinpoche used for the empowerment, the one that we watched in the video last night? Gyatrul Rinpoche answered, it must be a terma revealed by Dudjom Rinpoche himself. Because Dudjom Rinpoche, I think I mentioned this yesterday, Gyatrul Rinpoche was entrusted by Dudjom Rinpoche as a Dharma holder. I mentioned this yesterday, right? He specifically had a Vajrasattva practice. After going to America, he really wanted to bring from before he left Tibet a Vajrasattva sadhana he received from Terton Wangchen Nyima. Later, they did everything they could to bring this text to America. So the fact that they built a Vajrasattva statue is connected to this auspicious circumstance. This is what the people around him said. For some time, His Holiness and all of us talked about many topics, and the sound of our laughter continued to emanate from the tent. As I listened to the conversation, I looked at the tent and thought about how to take it back home, because it was a double-layered tent. It was very heavy. On the road, you have to think about these things, and each of us had limited luggage allowance. Besides, when His Holiness traveled, many people would make offerings to him, sometimes quite heavy things. This was quite a headache, figuring out what to do. It's not like nowadays. Now international and domestic shipping is very easy. Back then, there was simply no way. Fortunately, later on, Gyatrul Rinpoche and his people figured out a way. They shipped it to Chengdu through other means. The tent was eventually brought back. But later I was told it was shipped to Chengdu, so we didn't have to carry it with us. At that time, I was quite worried. Every time we received something large, I'd wonder how to bring it back. That's the first story. The second one is the site where a treasure vase was buried. Later, Gyatrul Rinpoche invited His Holiness to go to a sacred place nearby by car. It was a smooth hillside covered by grass. You can see it in this photo. That day, Sangye Khandro was driving. At the time, we thought that was quite impressive, because back then in China, it was rare for women to drive. In Hawaii and here, many American women drove. When we went to the meadow, Sangye Khandro was also driving. His Holiness asked, "How's your driving?" "No problem." We thought, wow, she dares to drive His Holiness's car. These people are really bold. That's what we thought at the time. In the middle was grassland surrounded by trees. Gyatrul Rinpoche pointed to a particular tree and said to His Holiness, this is how he introduced it, "Look at this place. It's still on the hillside above Tashi Choling. This area, actually, Oregon is really beautiful, just like the land of Tibet." At that time, Gyatrul Rinpoche introduced this place like this. On the 10th day of the 6th Tibetan lunar month in 1980, the same day that you, Khenpo Rinpoche, founded Larungar Buddhist Academy, Dudjom Rinpoche came to Ashland from San Francisco. We'll talk more about Ashland later. There's a small city not far from here. I should keep the English name here. There should be English below. He took a helicopter with his wife Rigdzin Wangmo, his son Shenfen Dawa, and Tulku Pema Wangyal. They took a helicopter and landed on this mountain top. That's the clearing we just saw below. Back then there was no road, only this flat area. This place, I think about how His Holiness personally visited here, and Dudjom Rinpoche personally chose this location. Tashi Choling is a very important place. At that time it was Dudjom Rinpoche and his consort Rigdzin Wangmo. Dudjom Rinpoche had 2 consorts. His later consort was called Rigdzin Wangmo. She was truly remarkable. She often received prophecies from Dakinis. She received these from a young age. And when she was with Dudjom Rinpoche, she often received Dakini prophecies requesting Dudjom Rinpoche to pray to Guru Rinpoche. Some teachings were written down by her. There are many in both English and Tibetan. She was truly remarkable. Actually, Dudjom Rinpoche had 2 consorts. His first consort had, I believe, 4 sons and 2 daughters. Among the 4 sons, one is the father of the current Khyentse Rinpoche. and the father of the third Dudjom Rinpoche who passed away last year. His father, these are still his daughters. Some are now in Qinghai, some in Lhasa, some in Nepal. The second consort had, I believe, one son and two daughters. The son is called Shenfen Dawa Rinpoche. He's quite well known in Europe and America now. He recently went to Australia. So Rigdzin Wangmo, his later consort, the first consort passed away around 1984, I believe. The later consort passed away in 2014 at her center in New York. She was truly remarkable. We all really wanted to meet her, especially Gyatrul Rinpoche. Whenever he mentioned Rigdzin Wangmo, he would always put his palms together and say she was truly remarkable, a true Dakini. He said she wasn't like ordinary women who caused trouble for the master every day. She wasn't like that. She was authentic. Because of her presence, many of Dudjom Rinpoche's Dharma teachings began to appear in the world. Truly remarkable. We never got to meet her. She passed away a few years ago. So at that time, Dudjom Rinpoche, his consort and his son, all came here together by helicopter to bless this place. At this point, Gyatrul Rinpoche said, I held a treasure vase and waited here in advance to receive them. When Dudjom Rinpoche arrived, he picked a spot and buried the treasure vase. He then snapped off a twig and planted it in the spot and hung a white silk scarf on it, saying, those who practice here sincerely will have the opportunity to obtain the rainbow body. Then he performed the earth ritual for a long time, making offerings to the local spirits and deities, similar to what we do in the Han region, performing a groundbreaking ceremony. He recited prayers for about 2 hours, and then he and his retinue took the helicopter back. I often think about how these great masters of the past did so much for Dharma centers. Look, back then they came by helicopter to this place. Actually, if you have the opportunity in the future to visit Tashi Choling, you'll see this tree. This tree is from when Dudjom Rinpoche planted a twig in that spot. Amazingly, after a few years, it has grown into this big tree. We also saw this tree at that time. In the photo with the large plateau, there's a bit of red over here. That spot is where this is now. Over there is a golden roof. That's the roof of Tashi Choling's temple. Is it the temple's roof or the Vajrasattva statue's canopy? Because behind the Vajrasattva statue, it was originally outdoors. Later, I think they built a canopy over it. Actually, over there, they don't need a canopy. There's nothing to worry about. Here where we are now, if statues are outdoors, they need to be covered. Otherwise, it's not allowed. We're worried they'll get cold. For all outdoor Buddha statues, we're very concerned. We must build a shelter for them. Otherwise, the weather in the land of Tibet is too cold. We're very concerned about them. What's amazing is that after many years, that twig has grown into this big tree. His Holiness recited many prayers and blessed the place. Let me check the time. Let me cover one more section, consecration of the Vajrasattva statue. In the afternoon, they invited His Holiness to consecrate the large Vajrasattva statue. Because Gyatrul Rinpoche was, it says here, entrusted by Tertan Kunzang Nima to be the treasure owner of a Vajrasattva practice. Because of this auspicious connection, he built here, you see, I hadn't read ahead, so I mentioned this earlier, the largest outdoor Vajrasattva statue in the area. The statue, that Vajrasattva statue, has a green Tara statue on one side and white Tara on the other. Behind are prayer wheels filled with the 100-syllable mantra, our Vajrasattva practice, now with Vajrasattva. Although we can't practice it outdoors like this, we can recite it internally. So everyone, as I mentioned earlier, today's auspicious circumstances are good. Since I'm talking about Vajrasattva, you should also begin. Let's all start together now and recite. To purify past negative karma as much as possible, every year we should make good preparation. For instance, if this year I complete 400,000 Vajrasattva recitations, then my past negative karma can be considered purified. If I die before next year, it should be fine. As long as I haven't created new negative karma, it's okay. Then His Holiness circumambulated the statues and made aspirations. Then he performed a consecration ritual for a long time. It was a bright, sunny day, and the white daisies clustered around the statues were in full bloom. His Holiness seemed very happy, feeling that it was fortunate to have these excellent representatives of the three jewels in the US, and that they would certainly bring great benefit to numerous sentient beings. Many great masters truly care about such things. In the future, when we're abroad and establishing Dharma centers in other places, actually, many people in Tibetan Buddhism, when they go abroad, they're probably not thinking about buying a villa for themselves or enjoying personal luxury. That's not what they're after. In India, Nepal, Bhutan, the UK, France, I've been to many places, including America. In many places, as soon as they have some money, they build temples, create Buddha statues, and train the sangha. In the future, we should also, as long as we have the ability, do the same. Don't just spend all your time enjoying yourself when you have the means. That's meaningless. We should do something meaningful. This is truly meaningful work. If you have the opportunity in the future, this place is worth visiting to see the Vajrasattva statue, the tree that Dudjom Rinpoche planted, and the small crystal ball where His Holiness displayed miraculous power. Gyatrul Rinpoche has now passed away, but this temple should still be there. All right, that's all for today.
Kirgana jirano chupai, chupun zolen droa droa bandangara badma asadarda bandangara badma asadarda bandangara badma asadarda